guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a fun video for you. I'm sure it's gonna be controversial, but let's see what happens. But before I get started, guys, I have created on Instagram an account for my closet sale and my best friend's vow closet sale. So we just got together and decided to create an Instagram account to sell our pre-loved goods. And if you guys have seen some of my other vlogs, you know Val, my best friend, is amazing. Her collection of luxury goods is spectacular. And as a result, all the time she has all these beautiful things for sale. So we got together. The name of the account is Closet Affair 305 because we both are Miami girls, although I don't live there, but it's Closet Affair 305. I will put a link in the info section below. Go take a look and check all of the beautiful goodies we have for sale. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you love it enough to subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. And if you are a returning sub, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys so much. So today we're gonna talk about things you wear that make you look really cheap. And let me do like a humongous disclaimer right now, because whenever there are controversial videos, when you give your personal opinion on things, obviously not everybody's going to agree with you, right? Fashion is such a personal thing. So the disclaimer is, this is just my personal 2 cents, guys. If you love any of these items, man, you gotta make yourself happy, right? Life is way too damn short for you to be upset about what other people think. So like I always say on my channel, live your truth, because that's the only way you're gonna be happy, right? But on the other hand, I do believe you guys come to my channel for fashion advice, to know what my opinion is in certain things. And guys, I mean, you know, I do consider myself to know a few things, right? You guys know I'm always in all of the events, luxury fashion, collection releases. I always see the latest and greatest what's coming out, all of the trends that are coming out from runway shows, you know. So if you guys have been around, you know, I really see a lot when it comes to fashion. So over time, I have obviously developed my opinions. And the funny thing is, guys, that almost every item that is on this list, I have had and I have wore before. I mean, what can I say? You're not born knowing everything, right? I mean, I've had my days where I had no money, okay? So I bought whatever my budget could afford, and I probably did not make the best choices. So let's go ahead and get started with my list of 5 things that you wear that make you look
cheap as hell.
Item number 1 is Pleather. I have such a hate relationship with Pleather. It's made of plastic. One of his ingredients is PVC, polyvinyl chloride, which is freaking plastic. So I feel that when you wear Pleather, you can tell a mile away that that is fake leather, and it looks terribly done, terribly constructed. It just makes you look like you paid $2, you know, for that skirt or for that jacket. If you are vegan and you really are against wearing leather, you know, and that is against your beliefs and your principles, that is perfectly okay. But if you have to get that look, then you need to invest more money to get a good quality pleather. There are brands out there that do make great quality pleather that are vegan. Stella McCartney is one of them. You have to shed your extra bucks to look nice. If you cannot afford the higher end, better done, better constructed pleather, just don't buy it, guys. Take a look at this picture right here. This girl is probably wearing the ultimate combination of all things that I hate, which is this pleather skirt, which in make it worse is red, okay? So in a bright color, you actually see even more how cheap that looks, right? And you're wearing cheap lace on top of it all with plaid. I mean, I personally hate plaid, guys. I'm not saying that plaid is on my list of cheap things. It's not on this list at all, but it's a freaking print that I personally hate. So when you look at this look put together with all this cheapness going around, it makes you look horrible. A better choice here is get a denim skirt. She would look way better and way more put together than this combination of misery over here. Next look is, if you are getting ready to impress, baby, you pick this fabulous dress with cheap lace and pleather, and girl, you are ready to go out and about in the town and look like you're worth 2 cents. No comment needed. And then on the next one, obviously you look like you're wearing plastic. If it looks like you got a freaking piece of plastic or a trash bag and made an outfit out of it, just don't do it, guys. And then on top of the pleather, you see all of the additional detail. That is a crucial mistake when you are buying clothes that are on the least expensive side. When you're buying clothes that are fast fashion, that are mass manufactured, you want to go with simple looks, okay? The less detail, the better. The more crap that is in that freaking outfit, the worse it looks, because then you don't have just one cheap fabric, you have a bunch, and then you have lace, and then you have cutouts and embroideries, and those things actually make it way more noticeable that the garment is cheap. So please, less is more. And no, pleather is not on my list of mistakes I have made in the past. I skipped that one. Okay, next one is bodycon dresses. I am not saying that every bodycon dress on this universe looks cheap, but I am saying that if you are not careful, man, there is a really good chance that if you buy a bodycon dress, you're gonna look like you just walked out of the dollar store. So I'm gonna give you a few tips on how you choose. If you wanna wear a tight, cute dress, you can still do that, but I'll give you some tips on how to stay away from stuff that just looks really low end. So number one right here on this picture, what do I even say looking at this dress? She looks like she was hunting in the forest and got captured by a net, okay? A couple of things here for you to notice. Prints. Be real careful with prints. Most prints that are mass manufactured do not look good, and this is one of them. I'm not a huge fan of camo, and if you are gonna pull off camo, there are certain ways you can pull off camo, but the rest of your look has to be really cool and edgy or classy for you to make camo look good, okay? So if you put a camo skirt or maybe like a camo cargo pants, a really cool top, you know, and maybe some pumps to give it a touch of refinement, you can pull off camo. But camo on a cheap ass dress like this, bodycon, on top of that, with this freaking crisscross in black on the side, way too much going on in the outfit and way too many cheap looking details. Next one, this is the classic example of a cheap bodycon dress. Super short, cheap ass fabric, really shiny, sometimes looks like plasticky, metallic-y. This might look to you like, oh, this is just a simple black dress. This is not. This is a cheap, simple black dress. Pick a fabric that is more matte. I think a good tip when you are shopping on a budget and you are going to a store and you want to buy a bodycon dress, pick fabrics that look more noble and that are not shiny, that are a bit more matte, because then I think it's more forgiving on the construction details. Next, let's look at this yellow number right here, okay? You look like you are Tweety Bird, but on top of being Tweety Bird, guys, when you are picking a bodycon dress, stay away from these details and cutouts and those things like that, because what happens is, for cutout details like this to look good, they have to be really well made and they have to be made with really fabulous fabrics. The tattletale of a cheap dress is cheap fabric, cheap construction. And then you add cutouts and a string here, you know, and a sleeve that is not connected to the dress. That is just more opportunity for the cheap craftsmanship to show. Yellow cutouts, bodycon, cheap fabric, it's a disastrous combination. Next bodycon dress is this shiny, super shiny, velvety number. Another example, guys, this shiny velvet fabric is horrendous. Refined high-end velvet does not look like this. This burnt looking velvet, just stay away from this fabric altogether. And then here you can see the cheap details again with the detail on the neck, and then you have like a little bit of like ruching, you know, like the fabric is kind of gathering under the breast. It just doesn't look well done. Next, again, this orange or maybe red, I don't know, looking bodycon dress. For you to pull off a dress like this, you have to be so good with the styling. I think in general, people do not know how to style bodycon dresses, so they put a dress like this with a horrendous cheap looking shoe with some crazy accessories, some hoops, and then it just look really bad taste. So I think a safe bet here is just don't go for bodycon dresses altogether. But if you do go, Pick more discreet colors, pick a dress that is a bit more simple in the cut, no details, no holes, no fraying, no crisscrossing of any kind. Just stick with simple and chic, and then you have a better chance of pulling off a more sophisticated look. The next dress is another camel variation. Look at how cheap this looks, guys. The trend here that you are seeing is that the more detail and the more prints that you have, if it is inexpensive, it is probably gonna look cheap. The last one is the cream of the crop for me. Girl, if you are wearing that, I mean, there is a reason why this dress is $14, guys. It's because you're gonna look like you're worth $14. Next thing that makes you look cheap is showing too much skin. I have nothing against people dressing sexy. I dress sexy. I show my boobs sometimes. I am from Brazil. You know, in Brazil, women embrace their sexuality. They are proud of their bodies. You know, you show your goods. Especially when you are younger and you want to go out and you want to look cute, you know, and you want to flirt and look for boys. You typically want to show your goods, right? And you look good. I mean, that's the time to do it, you know, while your body still looks good. Not like when I'm 45, right? Right now, it's a different story. But you should take advantage that you look beautiful and you're a beautiful woman and you want to show your goods. But, okay, a big disclaimer here. You pick your battles. You want to look sexy? Remember this, guys. Pick your battles. So you choose. Do you want to have badass cleavage? You know, you put your girls out there, or you want to wear super short, or you want details on the side, or you want a super sexy back. You have to pick your battles. You cannot do it all. If you do it all, I mean, you look like you were ready to go work the corner. I mean, what can I say? It's not that I have any prejudice against women dressing sexy, because like I said, I love it, I admire it, I do it. You know, my husband loves when I dress sexy, so I do dress sexy for him here and there, you know, because high fashion looks are typically not all that sexy. But you have to do it tastefully. And then the other thing about dressing sexy is, if you have a more skimpy dress or a more skimpy look, you have to be careful what kind of shoes you wear and what kind of accessories and jewelry you wear to really elevate your look and not make you look even worse, right? So let's look at a couple examples here. Example number one is this dress, red little number right here. She's thinking she's banging, girl, but she is a red bird right about to take off. First of all, cleavage through the roof, and then you're showing your belly with all of this freaking string detail in your abs, and then you have this embroidery in your skirt, and then you have super short and these feathers at the bottom. Guys, that looks so tacky, so overdone. Remember, overdone is never classy. And I like super trendy out there things. You guys that are my subscribers, you know I'm not those YouTubers that only wears beige and black, although I'm pretty conservative today. But if you see my other videos, I like high fashion. I like looks that are fun, that are out there. I don't really stick with black and white and beige. It's not my personality. But you have to be careful, because if you do it all at once and on top of that, you're showing boobs, belly, legs, this looks really bad. Item number two, let's take a look at this dress. This is everything you should never wear, okay? There is nothing that makes you look more ragamuffin than these dresses full of these cutouts everywhere. I see them all the time. Cutouts all the way on the side, cutouts on the belly, cutouts on the boobs. Cut it out. And by cut it out, I mean cut it out of your closet. You will never ever see a sophisticated woman wearing shit like this for an event. Next one right here, it's our silver metallic cheetah friend. Again, boobage through the roof, legs through the roof, and then she's not happy with that. And then there is a cut that comes all the way through her stomach. You can probably see her uterus from that cut, okay? And then on top of that, the dress is metallic. And on top of metallic, it is cheetah print. I'm tired of just talking about all of these details. All of these things in one look are a no-no. I either have a beautiful metallic dress, or I have a beautiful dress on a cheetah print, or I have a beautiful dress with this gorgeous cleavage. You can't have it all. I'm sorry, you can't have it all. To go out like that and expect that people are gonna think you're fashionable and sophisticated is ludicrous. Next one along the same lines, right? Super skimpy dress with all these super cheap cutouts. History repeating itself here. It looks terrible. And then I wanted to do a comparison for you guys using Kylie Jenner. and show you Kylie Jenner on a cheap asshole looking outfit and Kylie Jenner on a more sophisticated, sexy outfit, because you want to look sexy does not mean you need to look cheap, like you're putting your veg on a tray for guys to see. So this first look right here from Kylie Jenner, her stylist should have been fired right here. I don't even know what to say about this look. Her shoes look so cheap on this look with this cheap jumpsuit. I mean, guys, a net jumpsuit in general, just run unless you are wearing it as an accent underneath something else. So for example, Dior just launched on their last collection, they do have a net jumpsuit that you actually wear under, let's say, like a vest, and then you can see like the net details here on the arm. That looks beautiful because you're covered up, you're wearing a really expensive, superbly made vest by Dior. It's a completely different story, guys. Now, let's look at this other look from Kylie Jenner right here. Check this out. I think she's super sexy here. She's wearing a really vibrant color, and I think it is important to let people know that classy is not just black, beige, and white, and gray, which is what every YouTuber wants to make you believe, because that's all I see when I watch other YouTuber videos, okay? I think it's very important for you to know that color is okay, color is fun, color makes you stand out from the crowd and not look like everybody else. I love color. I have every color of the rainbow in my closet, and to me, this is an example of somebody using color, looking sexy, but looking sophisticated, right? If you look at the dress, it looks so well made, well constructed, beautiful shoulders. She's showing some cleavage. The dress is short, but her hair looks really sophisticated. So when you go sexy on your look, you need to balance out on the rest of your look to make sure you look good, right? So let's talk about a couple looks that I think are super sexy, but are also sophisticated. So look number one, I wanted to show you this gorgeous dress. It is super short, right? But look, it does not have cleavage. And then when you look on the back, she has this beautiful, super low sexy back. So you got short, you got sexy back, you cover your boobs, okay? Like, pick your battle, right? And then look at the rest of the styling for this look. Usually it's a beautiful, classy, very understated sandal. And then your jewelry needs to be really classy. Don't go crazy. Don't wear hoops. You should be wearing a night style type of earring, maybe long with a dangly, right? And then don't go crazy on your rings and your bracelets and everything else, and then crazy hair. You can see that she made everything else look really sophisticated to accommodate this super skimpy dress, right? Next look I want to show you is this beautiful long dress that has the girls out to play, so boobs galore over here. But does that look cheap? No, it doesn't. It looks super sophisticated because the dress is a little longer, and then the purse that she's wearing, the rest of the styling is very sophisticated. So you can bring your girls out to play, which I do all the time, but make sure you're doing a good job balancing it out. And then the last one is another one that is super boobalicious, but is more of a mid type of a dress where you're covering your legs. It's still a form-fitting dress, very sexy, very sophisticated, and I mean, and you look hot as hell. All right, now let's talk about my favorite category out of these all. The next thing you wear that makes you cheap as hell is over-the-top shoes. Guys, I see this almost every day when I go out to the mall, when I go out to the grocery store. People choose the tackiest, cheapest flipping shoes that money can buy. Here's the thing with shoes, okay? And it's just like clothes, it's kind of the same story. If you are buying shoes on a budget, you have to go for simple. You have to go for sophisticated shapes. You have to go for less detail because shoes are hard to make. Cheap shoes you can tell from a mile away. So what happens is the more detail you add, the more embroidery, the more lace, the more anything you add, it's just more opportunity to show how badly made they are. So you want to hide that by picking shoes that are simple, right? So let's take a look at this first right here. So this is a pair of camel over the knee boots, lace boots. I mean, talk about over the top. You're already wearing something that is over the knee, that is already pretty out there, right? So that means you take it easy on everything else. You don't put over the knee with a print of any kind, guys. It looks ridiculous. This look right here looks like she's ready to go to Destiny's Child Survivor video. You know, I'm a survivor. The only difference is that she's not gonna survive. Next one is this yellow number. Looks like she actually broke her foot and put a cast on it that was like a fun color in yellow. You have plastic, you have a neon color. It is fake leather, very exaggerated platform, very exaggerated heels. This is everything that is wrong with a shoe that you should never buy. Next one, denim over the knee boots slash peep toe. Let me just say something. Denim boots is a no. It's a no. I don't care what brand, I don't care how many $1,000 it costs. It looks terrible. Unless you're like Cardi B, ready to go for a performance, you should never wear this crap, guys. I have seen videos on YouTube of DIY denim boots where people cut their freaking jeans to make boots out of. I want to kill myself, I swear to God. It is not DIY, this is DI don't. Next one, what is this? I know transparency is really hot this season. You know, transparent shoes are all the rage. I think the Kardashians started this trend. Take it easy when you go buy cheap plastic shoes. Can you see the construction under her feet right there? Just take a look at that detail over there, okay? Can you see how ragadouche that looks? I mean, and then, actually, I can think of a positive when wearing these shoes, because maybe if we are recycling plastic bottles to make the shoes, you might be helping the environment. Next one, this is actually a knockoff of a pair of Gucci boots that I actually saw Beyonce wearing. And guys, I don't care about the Gucci. I don't care if it's the cheaper version or if it's the expensive version. They are both horrific. If you are Beyonce, it is one thing, but we not Beyonce. I mean, I hate to break it to you, but we know Beyonce, okay? We are mortals, and Beyonce can wear these ridiculous shoes and go perform, and everybody's gonna think she looks amazing. They want marketing, they want publicity, they want to be photographed for the crazy things they wear. But us mortals, you don't wear shit like this to go to the Cheesecake Factory, okay? Final one, piece de resistance, is this transparent number. I love transparent. I mean, nothing better than some plastic looking shoes to make it look hot, right? This one is a classic example of, again, too much. You have plastic, you have this pink detail, and then you have a cheetah print. Cheetah print, you have to be so careful because it is hard to make cheetah print look good and expensive. I think of Snooki, okay, from Jersey Shore when I see cheetah print. I've already said that before. You need to be a banging stylist, man, to pull off cheetah print and know how to put it together. So in this shoe, you have way too much going on, and then you can clearly tell with the pink trim how cheap that is made, how bad that construction is. You might think you're balling, but people are looking at your feet and they're like, hell no. Let me show you a couple of examples of shoes that I think look really nice. All of the shoes I'm gonna show you 3 examples, and they are all from Forever 21 and ASOS. The first one is actually this pair of boots. The heel is actually made of wood. One thing you have to pay attention when you're buying inexpensive shoes is the shape, okay? The curve of your foot. I usually like to go for sharp curves because I feel like it makes the shoe look more expensive. So I like to go pointy, or like high, really thin heel, or a real nice curve right here when it's going up, because sharp curves make your shoe look more expensive. So these boots are actually a knockoff of a pair of Louis Vuitton boots, and I think these look really beautiful. Next one is actually this pair with transparency. If you love the transparency trend, which I think is actually really sexy because it makes your legs look really long, right? Go for simple. So here's an example. This is from Forever 21 of a pair of shoes with transparency that I think looks really beautiful and sophisticated. Next one is also a pair of boots, and these are a knockoff of Alexander Wang boots, which are super hot right now with this detail around the boot. And again, look at the key here, sharp features, very pointy, high, pointy heels. I feel like sharp features, and then with this detail makes the boot look more expensive. And then the last one I wanted to show you is this pair of faux suede pumps, and they have a little bit of a string if you want to, you know, look a little sexier. This is a classic shape for a shoe, right? It's a beautiful pump, pointy toe, not crazy details, just really kind of like the tie around your ankles. And then the other secret is, guys, fake leather looks way cheaper than fake suede. So whenever I go for inexpensive shoes for my daughter or for myself, I typically pick the suede because you cannot really tell the difference between the fake and the real suede. Cheap fake leather, you can tell the texture, that it looks like plastic and not real skin. Last thing that I'm gonna mention on this list today that makes you look cheap is cheap fabric. The secret for not looking cheap is fabulous fit, fabulous construction, fabulous fabrics. That is really what counts in terms of making an outfit look good. It's not as much about what style it is or what color it is. It's more about the fabric and how it's made. That's what makes something look nice. So cheap fabrics, you need to be able to go to a Forever 21 and eyeball which fabrics look really cheap and which fabrics look nice. They might not be expensive fabrics, but they look good, right? So I buy things at Forever 21 for myself. I buy for my daughter as well. And you know, they are cheap polyester fabrics, but if you know what look to go for, you're never gonna make the mistake of looking cheap again. So the first example I'm gonna show you right now is this beige dress on this beige fabric. And this fabric looks like the cheapest of the cheapo polyester that you can buy. And when your fabric looks like polyester, that is a definite that you're gonna look cheap. So when you see this type of fabric at any store, Charlotte Russe has a lot of it, Forever 21 has a lot of it, just stay away, guys. Like I said, you do not want the fabrics that have any kind of shine. You want the fabrics that are a bit more matte because they look more like cotton, right? So they look more like natural fabrics. Anything that looks like artificial fabric, plastic, polyester, it looks fake, right? So you can tell that it was cheap. Next one I'm gonna show you is this dress. I mean, this dress looks cheap. I mean, cheap as hell. And it's because of this cheap metallic fabric. When you go for inexpensive looks, you have to move away from detail. Invest your money in nice accessories and leave the detail for the accessories, okay? And pick fabrics and looks that are a little more streamlined. So a few things you should stay away from: metallics, plastic looking fabrics, transparency. You can tell when it's cheap transparent polyester from a mile away. Anything like transparent detail or that shows a little transparent with a lining underneath, that looks so bad. Embroideries, shine, glitter, anything of that nature, you have to have a really good eye to pick something that's gonna look good. So a rule of thumb is just stay away from that. Next one right here, look at this dress. This dress is a fail. It's a total fail. You can look at this girl, this beautiful girl, and tell that this dress is $20. You can tell how cheap the fabric is. Therefore, the fabric doesn't fit well, doesn't drape well. So this detail on the breast looks horrible. The sleeve looks horrible and all ruched. You can tell it's kind of jumbled up because the fabric is too thick. The skirt doesn't lay well. I mean, this has cheap written all over it. Next one. Classic cheapo ragamuffin dress. Transparency, this really cheap, terribly done shine. This detail looks so cheap. If it looks cheap on pictures, can you imagine this in person? Next right here is this other beige look. And people think sometimes that if you go to a high street fashion store and you buy things that are beige and these colors that are supposedly chic, that you're gonna look like $1,000,000. Absolutely not guaranteed at all. If you're picking something in beige that is a fabric that looks like this, I mean, look at the fabric drape underneath her freaking arm. You can fit 2 chicks inside that space over there. You combine the cheap fabric with the ill fit, it just is a recipe for disaster. So let's look at a couple of examples of that I think look good, and these are from Forever 21. The first one, you see the fabric, that is a fabric that looks a little bit like houndstooth, you know, something like a tweed, something a bit more noble. And you can tell the fabric has no shine, is more on the matte side. The cut of the dress is really simple. It has a little bit of a detail right here on the décolleté, but it still looks simple and classy. The next dress I'm gonna show you, which is this black dress, also looks beautiful, and this is a high street black dress. And the key here, guys, is a fabric that looks good and a dress that fits right. So these are my tips in terms of things that you wear that make you look really cheap. I hope this helps you make good decisions when you go to stores, and you're looking for things that are gonna make you look good, not break the bank, but are not gonna make you look cheap. Now, I have a couple questions for you. I can film a video where I go to Forever 21, for example, and I can shop with you and I can show you what kind of things I think look good and what kind of things you should stay away from, so we can go kind of like on a shopping trip together, and I'll be like, hey guys, this looks horrible, really cheap. Would love to hear if you guys are interested in a video like that. And then the second one is, I received a request on my last video where I did my Gucci unboxing, someone saying, hey Erica, please make a video on what to do to look rich, to look expensive and look like money. So I thought that would be a super fun idea. So let me know if you will be interested in a video on how to dress to look rich, look like you're balling, okay? And I'll make sure to do that for you. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got some good tips. If I upset you or offend you in any way, my apologies, that is not the intention. My intention is to always help you guys, but it is fashion, and fashion is so subjective. So I might have shown some things that I hate that you guys might think are beautiful. So like I said, man, you gotta do you. I do me and you do you. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.